We'll have Mitch Thompson here in a couple minutes. I called him and went right to voicemail. Listen, when you're a national champion, things get busy. So
yeah, I could imagine they do. Yeah, they got home yesterday. I saw there was a nice group of people waiting for them back home, the Bosky boys, as they call themselves. And the Bosky boys got back to town after that great weekend, and they are national champs, first time since 1983. So big congratulations to Mitch Thompson, who we'll talk to in a second. And didn't really have to sweat too much. I mean, they won 15-5 on Thursday, and we had talked to them at the end of last week. But then on Friday, as we had previewed, they just needed to win one game. They had the ability to lose one and still be alive because of the way that they started, but they didn't need that one gimme loss. They just went ahead and went undefeated the whole way, and beat Central Arizona 7-3 to take home the title. So glad they made it back home safe, and glad that they were able to cap off their goals, and glad they were able to bring a championship back to Central Texas. So if you look at it, I mean, Baylor men win the first basketball title in school history this year. MCC wins their first baseball title since 1983. And I know there's been plenty of other, accomplishments across the board, high school, college, whatever, but a pretty good year for Waco in general as far as just two national titles coming home. And then, you can always include A&T, and there's been a lot of other successes, as I mentioned. So, pretty cool stuff.
All right, well, we'll just go right into it because he just called me back. Mitch Thompson, MCC baseball coach, joins us now. I'm sorry, let me redo that interview. National champion Mitch Thompson of the McLennan Highlanders joins us now. Mitch, you have had to make that bus drive back from Colorado when you didn't win it. How different was it this time around?
Well, it went a lot faster. It went a lot faster. It was a lot happier, and I think there are two reasons it went faster. Number one is we had the trophy sitting right next to us. That was cool. Number two is I had 700 text messages that I was trying to answer. That made the time pass really fast. My fingers are sore, but it worked out great.
Coach, I mean, you guys have been chopping wood. You guys have been close. But you've reached the mountaintop. MCC is the national champions. You're back in Waco, like I was just mentioning a second ago. Glad to see you guys arrive back home safely. Just how's it feel? How's it feel to have accomplished what you've worked so hard to accomplish?
Well, it's awesome. I mean, I'm so happy for the kids and for our coaches. I'm happy for the school. I've been doing this for 31 years. First time that I've won a championship, and I can be honest with you, in 15 when we finished second, I actually said to myself, I said, gosh, I hope that's not the only chance that you ever have. Because, number one, getting to the World Series is difficult, and it's hard. It's a challenge, every year it's a challenge. But then to win it is taking it another step. To be in that game to win it's a step. So we're very blessed. I mean, God's blessed all of us richly on this deal, and I'm thankful for the opportunities that He's given us. But it's pretty cool. I'm hearing from so many friends and so many people. I've probably heard from 50 to 100 of my former Baylor players. I'm hearing from so many of my former McLennan players and their families, and McLennan people from the past. I mean, Jay Buhner reached out. And, there's just so many people that this is touching, and it's kind of surreal, but it's really cool.
The game was tight for most of it, Mitch. That I know you're probably white knuckling it there in the dugout going to the eighth inning. What did that eighth inning allow you to do, especially going into the ninth, where it was do or die for Central Arizona?
I'll be honest with you. I don't think, and this is kind of interesting to say, but I don't think anybody in our dugout was white knuckling it the entire ball game. That game went so fast. It was, to me, we went through 7 innings so quickly, and it was 2-1, and we were all very confident in Logan on the mound. I was confident. Hey, we're going to get the hits when we start happening. We just got to get this starter out of the game. And sure enough, that's kind of what happened when we got him out of the game. Things kind of opened up a little bit for us. But, all of a sudden we got through 7 innings, and now it's the top of the 8th, and we've got a 2-1 lead. And I kind of looked up and went, wow, we got 6 outs to get. Usually I look up a little earlier than that, maybe the 6th inning or something where you're going, okay, oh my God, 12 innings or 12 outs left. There's a lot of game to go. But, it got to the eighth and it became kind of real. And all of a sudden we opened it up and it was, I think it probably did more to the other team to say, oh my gosh, now the challenge is really huge for them to overcome it.
Coach, why this group? Why was this the group of Bosque boys that were able to win that first title in so many years? You've had, like you said, teams that have knocked on the door. You've had teams that have been to Grand Junction. What was it about these guys that were able to not only do it, but do it with an incredible win streak and do it without even a blemish in Grand Junction?
I need to really try and concentrate and figure it out. I don't think that it's anything magic. I think it has to do with all of the players and all of the coaches that we have. The chemistry's there. I think you win these you win these type things once you've been there before, once you know a little bit more what to expect. But I look at our ball club and the way that we're playing, and I kept telling this team, we were having to fight. We had to fight earlier in the year, man. I mean, we were fighting to get our head above water. We're 10-11, and we kept talking to this team that we've got to play better, and we're so capable of it. Let's all get on the same page. And finally, when they all did, and it all clicked, it was like, it was just. I remember telling the guys after our last loss, when we did take a loss against Weatherford, I told them, I said, we are done losing. We are finished with losing. It is over. No more losing. Done. And I'll be dadgum, 23 in a row. So from here on out, I'm going to start every year off with that very same speech. But no, I mean, and it's been awesome because the guys have really stayed focused one game at a time, and it's been so much fun to be around them. The chemistry is incredible. They love each other, and they're very unselfish. I'll tell you that. We had several guys who played a lot during the year because of an injury or something else that kind of set them back a little bit, and then somebody else kind of stepped into that role and took it. We had a lot of guys who wanted to be out on that field, who probably deserved to be out on that field, but because of situations, they weren't. They were in the dugout waiting their turn again, and they handled it like champions, and I couldn't be more proud of them for that.
I just wanted to make mention because you did have that long win streak, and you obviously won out in Grand Junction, but when you were at one point 10-11, that means you guys went 37-5 the rest of the way. 37-5.
And that's kind of what we told them. I mean, I remember telling them, I said, when we all get on the same page and we all start clicking, we're gonna rattle off 20 in a row, boys. And I kept telling them that and kept selling it, and I believed it, every bit of it. I believed it. I think that some people can be shocked that we got to this point. I'm not shocked. I knew it was in this group, and I knew, and our coaches knew it was in the group. We just had to all get on the same page and everybody start pulling in the exact same direction. And it was funny as it kind of came together. Okay, here's 4 in a row. 6, 8, 10. And all of a sudden the guys they feel a little bit invincible. I mean, we went 10-0 in the postseason, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pretty crazy. And we just pulled up our stats from those 10 games. And I mean, incredible. I mean, we hit like 360 or something, and our ERA was like 3.5. I mean, scoring 10, 11 runs a game. It's like you're gonna have a hard time beating us when we're all clicking like that. So it was a lot of fun.
Logan Henderson had 17 strikeouts on Friday night. And what do you say to a pitcher when they're dealing like that, if anything? Do you say, good job? Do you look him in the eye? Do you just let him go in the dugout and keep in his, like in his bubble?
No, I mean, he comes in and he'd sit down with Coach Lev and they talk about what's coming ahead and, Lev, hey, how you feel? Lev's asking him how he feels. And, I didn't say boo to him, just had a baby, keep, I wasn't gonna, and I actually went to Coach Lev and I said, hey, because we take such good care of our pitchers over the course of the year. I mean, I think you could probably count on maybe 2 or 3 fingers the number of times we ever let a guy go over 100 pitches. But I did go to Lev about about sixth inning of that game and said, "Where's he at pitch wise?" He told me, and I said, "Today, if he keeps throwing the way he is, we're going up to 130 before we get him out." And that was, he was ended up his last pitch was 118, so we didn't quite there. But what a competitor, what a great kid, what a great teammate. The success that he has earned is 100% his and Coach Lev and Coach Starks working with him, and I'm just so excited for that kid.
You have won titles. You won multiple conference titles. You won all sorts of big games. But to see your players after the thrill of winning a national championship, was that a little bit different than some of the other celebrations?
Yeah, when we won the regional, the super regional, I had told the guys, I said, "Hey, we're staying on our feet. Nobody's going. There's no dog pile. There's no falling to the ground. None of that." And really, I told them that for selfish reasons, that I don't want anybody getting hurt on the bottom of that son of a gun.
Right.
We got games to play. I said we dogpile in Grand Junction on the mound, and at the end of the day, there's no way you're keeping them from dogpile there, and I want them to dogpile there. I just, you just don't want to see anybody separate a shoulder or something like that, suffocate to death. And some of them learned real quickly the bottom of that dog pile is no fun. It's the top part that's a lot more fun.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hopefully we can do it. Hopefully we can do it again and again, and you'll see everybody kind of waiting around until the dog pile forms before they jump on it.
Yeah, you'll know who was there before. You'll know who learned from the last time. Yeah,
that's right.
Mitch, obviously you had some guys that before the season even happened, they were going to go to another level, whether it be, a D1 college or to the league or wherever. How much does the World Series run help those guys who were maybe on the cusp or hadn't been seen just yet?
Well, I think it ought to help. One of the things that's a struggle with some of our guys that don't have their plans made yet has nothing to do about their talent level or their ability. It has everything to do with the COVID backlog of players at the Division I level. Mm-hmm. And everybody's gotten an extra year of eligibility, and then with the Major League Draft being shortened up as much as it was last year and again this year, it's just kind of a backlog of players. And so for some of them, it probably has opened up some doors and some opportunities, and those opportunities may come, even in July when the draft does happen this year. But the other thing that hurts is that we didn't have a single Division I coach show up to any of our games all year long. They couldn't get out.
Wow.
And if you can't get out and see a kid in person, it's tough. We've got as good a video system as anybody, and we send out videos to the whole world. And it's just a backlog of players and pulling trigger on video rather than seeing them in person. They see them in person, they'll know what kind of baseball players they are, because these guys can play. And we're going to go to work and get them where they need to be. And if some of them need to come back here next year, then we'll bring them back here and we'll go try and do it again.
Coach, given that this wasn't possible last year, and this was all cross sports around this time last year, but how do you feel about just the way the season was conducted and held, and all of the cooperation and working together to make this actually occur? Do you feel like it went off pretty well in the long run?
No question. I mean, I'm so proud of our guys. I think that they handled themselves great. I'm proud of our school and how they, our administration, how they set it up, and how we were trying to take care of them through the COVID protocols and how to do things. But our guys did a fantastic job with it all along, because we just, we didn't have a single case.
Wow.
Not one. And so, what you find out then is that they're pretty disciplined. They're pretty focused on what they're doing. And maybe they all had it, in the fall and wintertime, whatever, and didn't even know it. But we didn't have a single case that we had to deal with, and so our protocols worked, and our guys took care of their business and kept important things important.
Well, Mitch, thanks for jumping on with us. Congratulations. It's been a long time coming for MCC and for you and everyone involved. And, we're just so happy and proud of you guys that able to do it and enjoy it. I'm glad you got some sleep. I hope you're back. I know it's just 1 hour, but I hope you're back on Central Time now and you can feel normal again. So
breathing okay?
We're definitely back on Central Time, and we're going to be doing a few things. We're going to have a community-wide celebration tomorrow night, which will be neat. That's going to be at the backyard, and we hope to see a lot of folks out there for that. And then these guys are going to be making their way home for the summer, or where they're going to play summer ball and doing their own things. And but we're sure appreciative of you guys and the support, and that you guys have given us the opportunity to come talk with you. And I'm just blessed with these kids, and Waco should be very proud of them. Our county should be very proud of them. These are fantastic kids, that's it. So I appreciate you.
Well, Mitch, I'll speak for Waco. We're proud of them. We are absolutely proud of them.
I know they are. Yeah. I know they are.
Yeah.
And I guess what I'm saying, if they haven't met them, then they don't know what they've missed, because these are winners on and off the field. These kids are going to be great husbands and fathers, and there's a lot of success to be had for these guys as they continue on in their lives. We're blessed to have had them here. So thank you.
All right, Mitch, talk to you soon.
Congrats, Coach.
All right. Thank you. That's Mitch Thompson. And awesome. What an awesome story. Mm-hmm. What'd you say, 37-5 down the stretch?
Yeah, they were at one point 10-11. They went 37-5, and including a long win streak, including being unbeaten in Grand Junction, including being unbeaten in the postseason. So pretty cool. And he mentioned that celebration that'll be tomorrow from 5:30 to 7. So he mentioned, if you haven't met these young men, these national champion young men on this MCC baseball team, you can do that at the backyard tomorrow from 5:30 to 7. They will have a celebration for these guys. I know there was a good turnout, or at least it appeared on camera as though it was a good turnout when they arrived back on the buses yesterday from Grand Junction. So imagine some of those people who turned out will turn up at the backyard as well. But you can join them tomorrow from 5:30 to 7 and congratulate MCC on their national championship. First since '83, I believe, is the year. And it's cool that he said Jay Buhner reached out. And I know that I certainly saw a lot of activity on social media from MCC fans, a lot more than I expected, when retweeted the national championship win. And I think, the school account has something like 2,000 retweets or 2,000 likes or something like that, which is a pretty good number for MCC. So, yeah, there's a lot of people that were excited, and a lot of former, students or players at MCC that were amped up as well. So very happy for them. Incredibly happy for Mitch Thompson to finally reach the mountaintop.
Yeah, absolutely. When we come back, Grayson Gruen